Have you ever watched a documentary about a Ponzi scheme and secretly thought, wait, how did they convince so many people to trust them? If you've ever had that curiosity, this video is for you. But not to show you how to do it. It's to show you exactly how these schemes work so you never fall for one. And so you can use the psychology and storytelling tricks in legal, ethical businesses instead. Today on Cashflow Coach, we're going inside 3 of the biggest Ponzi-style disasters of our lifetime: Bernie Madoff, FTX, and Celsius. By the end of this video, you'll know the playbook scammers use to gain trust, the red flags most victims missed, and how to flip those dark side tactics into legit skills for marketing, sales, and investing. Everything in this video is for education only. We are not teaching you how to commit fraud. We are teaching you how to spot it and how to build real wealth instead. Let's get into it. Welcome back to Cashflow Coach. This channel is all about helping you make more, keep more, and avoid the money mistakes that can wreck your life. If you're into learning from real stories, the wins, and the disasters, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Today, we're breaking down 3 huge cases: Bernie Madoff, the respectable Wall Street legend who fooled everyone; Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX, the crypto genius who turned customer deposits into a black hole; Alex Mashinsky and Celsius, the unbank yourself revolution that blew up billions in savings. But first, we need to make one thing crystal clear. What is a Ponzi scheme? Let's make this super simple. A Ponzi scheme works like this. You give me $10,000. I promise you great returns. I don't actually invest your money. Instead, I use money from new investors to pay you your profits, so it looks like everything is working. As long as more money is coming in than going out, I look like a genius. The moment new money slows down, or too many people ask for their cash back at the same time, the whole thing collapses. It's musical chairs with people's life savings. Keep that picture in your mind, because even though the details change, the pattern is the same. Let's start with the godfather of modern fraud, Bernie Madoff. Picture Manhattan, high-rise office, perfect suit, a man everyone wants access to. That was Bernie Madoff. He wasn't some shady guy in a basement. He was a former chairman of the NASDAQ. He was respected. He had wealthy clients, banks, foundations, charities. People literally begged to invest with him. And here's the scary part. His offer didn't sound crazy. He didn't promise to double your money in a month. He offered something that sounds boring and safe. Steady, predictable returns, around 10 to 12% a year, year after year. No drama, no big crashes. On top of that, he made his fund feel exclusive. You couldn't just go to a website and open an account. You had to know someone who might be able to get you in. It felt like a private club. If you were in, you felt special and safe at the same time. So what was actually happening? On paper, Madoff said he was using a sophisticated trading strategy. In reality, most of the time, he wasn't trading at all. Client statements were fake. The profits weren't real. When old investors wanted to withdraw, he used new investors' money to pay them. Classic Ponzi. Now here's something important. People tried to warn regulators. A financial analyst named Harry Markopoulos ran the numbers and said, "This is mathematically impossible." He sent detailed reports to the SEC again and again, and nothing happened for years. So what finally killed the scheme? The 2008 financial crisis. When markets crashed, investors needed cash. They started asking for withdrawals all at once. Suddenly, there wasn't enough new money coming in to cover all the people wanting out. The illusion shattered almost overnight. Madoff confessed to his sons. He was arrested. He eventually pleaded guilty. He was sentenced to 150 years in prison. He died there. He didn't just steal from the ultra-rich. He stole from charities, retirees, and small investors who thought they were being conservative and smart. What can we learn from this, besides don't commit fraud? From a business and communication perspective, Madoff understood 2 powerful things: reputation and exclusivity. People gave him money because he had spent decades building an image of success and stability. In a legit business, your track record and consistency are incredibly valuable. He also made his fund feel hard to access. In real life, scarcity and exclusivity can increase demand for honest products and services. But here's the line you never cross. You never fake performance. You never lie about what you're doing with clients' money. And you never use new clients' money to pay old clients. That's not smart. That's a time bomb. Now, that was the old school version. Let's fast forward to the crypto era. FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried. Now we jump to around 2019 to 2022. Crypto is booming. New millionaires and billionaires are being created overnight. And in the middle of this chaos, there's a guy with messy hair, a t-shirt, and shorts sitting on stage with world leaders, celebrities, and top investors. Sam Bankman-Fried, founder of FTX, one of the largest crypto exchanges in the world. He built a powerful character, the socially awkward math genius, the guy who sleeps on a beanbag, the billionaire who claims he just wants to give his money away to charity. That story made people drop their guard. He wasn't just selling a company, he was selling himself as the good billionaire who was going to fix crypto and fix the world. Big venture capital firms bought it. Politicians bought it. Celebrities bought it. Millions of regular users bought it too. To customers, the pitch was simple. Deposit your money, trade crypto, withdraw whenever you want. It looked like a normal, modern, regulated exchange. But behind the scenes, something very different was happening. Sam also controlled a trading firm called Alameda Research. On paper, FTX and Alameda were separate. In reality, they were deeply tangled. According to court documents and testimonies, FTX quietly allowed Alameda to borrow billions of dollars of customer funds. There were special settings in the system that let Alameda run a giant negative balance without getting liquidated like a normal user. So when you logged in and saw $10,000 in your account, a huge chunk of that money might already have been sent to Alameda to make risky trades, buy real estate, or fund investments and donations. From the outside, it looked like a booming, profitable empire. On the inside, there was a massive hole. Again, notice the pattern: new deposits covering old losses. Legally, this was prosecuted as fraud, not labeled as a Ponzi scheme, but the behavior rhymed. Pretending funds were safe and liquid while secretly using them for something else. What killed it? A leaked balance sheet raised serious questions about Alameda's health and its reliance on FTX's own token. Confidence cracked. Customers rushed to withdraw. Billions of dollars in withdrawal requests hit FTX, and there simply wasn't enough money. In a matter of days, FTX went from future of finance to bankruptcy. Sam Bankman-Fried was arrested, tried, and convicted. He was sentenced to 25 years in prison and ordered to forfeit billions. What can we ethically learn from this? He understood narrative and branding. He wrapped his company in a powerful story. I'm the smart, regulated, ethical guy who will bring order to crypto and then give away the profits. He also made the user experience smooth and friendly. The app looked clean, the branding was modern, the sponsorships were everywhere. All of that is 100% usable in honest businesses. You should care about your story. You should care about how your product feels. You should care about trust. But the moment you tell people your money is safe and secretly use it for something else, you're not a visionary. You're committing fraud. Let's look at one more case that hit even closer to home for many everyday investors: Celsius and Alex Mashinsky. Imagine you're scrolling social media in 2020 or 2021. You see a slick ad. Unbank yourself. Banks are ripping you off. With us, you can earn 8, 10, 15% on your crypto. We're giving the profits back to the people. That was Celsius Network, founded by Alex Mashinsky. He positioned himself as the rebel CEO. On interviews and live streams, he wore Celsius t-shirts, talked about how banks are the bad guys, and framed Celsius as the future of finance. The offer was extremely attractive. Deposit your Bitcoin, your Ethereum, your stablecoins. We'll lend them out. You'll earn high yields. We're safer, smarter, and fairer than the banks. Some people literally moved their entire life savings into Celsius. They believed they were escaping a corrupt old system and joining a better one. But behind the scenes, prosecutors say Celsius was taking big, risky bets. They were exposed to volatile projects. They were investing in ways that created huge potential losses. They also launched their own token, CEL, and allegedly propped up its price to make the company look healthier and more valuable than it really was. On the outside, the message was always the same: we're safe, we're responsible, we take less risk than traditional finance. On the inside, there were serious problems. When crypto prices crashed in 2022, customers got nervous. They started withdrawing funds. Celsius hit a wall. In June of 2022, they paused withdrawals, swaps, and transfers. In plain language, people couldn't get their money. Shortly after, the company filed for bankruptcy, revealing a massive hole in its balance sheet and billions in customer claims. Once again, people who thought they were just earning interest were suddenly locked out of their savings. Alex Mashinsky was later charged and, after legal proceedings, sentenced to years in prison for his role in misleading customers and misrepresenting the risk. The lesson here is brutal. Good marketing and community can be used either to build or to destroy. So what can you ethically copy? Celsius understood positioning. They picked a clear villain, the traditional banking system. They told people, "We're on your side, the banks are not." That's a powerful move in marketing. Having a clear enemy, like hidden fees, debt traps, or financial confusion, can make your honest product more compelling. They also built a strong community. People felt part of something bigger. You can do the same thing around education, transparency, and real value. But again, the line is simple. You cannot promise safety and stability while doing the opposite with people's money. Now, let's zoom out. Different decades, different industries, different personalities. But look at what all three stories have in common. First, they sold a story, not just a product. Madoff sold quiet, elite stability. SBF sold brilliant, mission-driven genius. Mashinsky sold rebel leader against greedy banks. People didn't invest based on spreadsheets. They invested based on feelings. Second, they offered returns that sounded safe but were unusually good. Madoff's returns were too smooth. The line barely went down. Real markets don't work like that. Celsius offered double-digit yields, framed as normal and safe. FTX claimed to be hugely profitable while managing risk perfectly. Anytime you see above-average returns with below-average risk and tons of confidence, you should slow down and ask hard questions. Third, they all operated as black boxes. If you tried to drill into the actual mechanics, you hit a wall. Madoff's strategy didn't match observable market data. FTX said customer funds were safe, but in reality, they were shifted to Alameda. Celsius said they took less risk than banks, while loading up on risky positions and other shaky platforms. If the real answer to "how do you make this money" is "don't worry about it, just trust us," that's not a genius secret. That's a red flag. Fourth, they all had a cult of personality. Madoff was the respected elder. SBF was the quirky prodigy. Mashinsky was the anti-bank freedom fighter. When people start saying, "this person is too smart to fail," or "the old rules don't apply to this one," that's often when the old rules show up the hardest. So, what do you do with all this? Let's turn this into something practical. Here are 3 rules, CashflowCoach style, to protect yourself and build real wealth. Rule number 1. If you can't explain it to a 15-year-old, don't put your life savings into it. You don't need every technical detail, but you should be able to say, in simple language, what they do, where the profits come from, and what the main risks are. If you can't, your money is just fuel for a story you don't actually understand. Rule number 2. Be suspicious of guaranteed or effortless high yield. Right now, bank accounts and government bonds pay modest returns. That's just reality. If someone is offering 10, 15, 20% and calling it safe or low risk, you're not just getting a higher return, you're taking a higher risk. That doesn't mean every high-yield investment is a scam, but if the risk isn't clearly explained, you are the risk. Rule number 3. Diversify and never worship a guru. The people who lost everything in these stories often made one fatal mistake. They went all in. All in on one fund, one platform, one personality. Never do that. Spread your money across different assets, different brokers or banks, different strategies. And if you ever catch yourself saying, "this person is a genius, they can't be wrong," that's your sign to step back and recheck everything. Let me talk to the ambitious part of you directly. Wanting more money is not evil. Wanting freedom is not evil. Wanting to escape a boring job is not evil. The danger is in thinking fraud is a shortcut It's not. It's a trap that gives you temporary lifestyle upgrades and a permanent pile of legal and moral debt. The real cheat code is this: learn how money actually works. Build or buy real assets. Use the storytelling, positioning, and trust building you've seen in this video to make legitimate offers more compelling. The same skills that make scams dangerous can make honest entrepreneurs and investors extremely successful when they're built on truth. If you got value from this breakdown, hit like so more people can avoid these traps. Subscribe to Cashflow Coach for more real money stories and practical lessons. And in the comments, tell me this: what's one too good to be true offer you've seen lately that you want me to break down? Maybe we'll turn it into the next episode and show you the legit version of how to do things right. Thanks for watching, and remember, the real flex isn't just making millions. The real flex is making millions you never have to hide.